Hi, I'm Emily and I'm the founder of Reconnected Life, because rape isn't the end of our story and we do deserve to live a full and connected life again. The question was posed in the Facebook community group as to whether or not to report the rape to the police. And I thought that it would also provide a really good topic for a video so it could be shared more widely. It's something that I have thought about a lot, and it's something that I have experience with. One time, one of my no longer friends told me that it was everybody's responsibility if they were raped to go to the police and report it. It was my responsibility to get that man off the streets, or at least to have his details in the system. And this was actually after I had gone. And it was a conversation where I was saying, actually, I don't think I could suggest to people that it's the right thing to do, that they should do it, because of my experience was so traumatizing. And she thought that I was evil incarnate for having suggested that actually it wasn't always necessarily the right answer. Now I know so many amazing, wonderful women who have felt so empowered by reporting to the police, however far the procedure, the justice process has gone, that just a very act of reporting has made them feel empowered. And I know that that's the case for so many, but I also know that for so many, the process of reporting can lead to death. It can be too much. You have no responsibility to report to the police. The only responsibility you have is to yourself. If you want to go to the police and report it, then do. But if you don't, that's okay too. Now, there are some considerations that if we do report that we should be aware of. First of all, when are we reporting? If we decide to report straight away, then that makes it easier for collection of evidence. It makes it easier for convictions. However, it makes it much harder on us. When I reported, it was only a month later, and in fact that length of time was one of the reasons that CPS cited as not proceeding, but things have changed now and I don't think they'd get away with that anymore. But even with just a month between the attack and the report, I found the process incredibly re-traumatizing, having to dredge up details again and again and again that I wasn't even sure I could remember, and then that were coming back to me in nightmares and flashbacks as a result of the questions. So please be aware of what kind of internal resources do you have inside, and what external resources do you have in terms of your friends and your family support network to help you through. I was so grateful to have a friend come with me throughout that whole process. If we do report, there's not only the actual process of reporting that we need to be aware of the impact on ourselves, there's also what happens next. So if you know your attacker, will you be safe physically, emotionally? If you have to wait a long time for an arrest to be made, can you make it through? It's a very stressful period, and I remember the wait between the arrest, for the arrest, that was several weeks, and then the wait for the CPS decision, again, several weeks, and it felt like I was putting my life on hold for that time, just waiting to be told officially that a bad thing had happened to me, I guess. And instead, At the end of that wait, I was told that the CPS wouldn't prosecute. And so what I say to you is be aware and be ready and prepared for how you might respond to that news and that information. That still feels heartbreaking to me, that justice will never happen. There's a my family motto is justice and peace. And I've always felt that I have no peace because there was no justice. And I'm getting through that now, but actually being let down by the justice system is also a huge thing to get over psychologically. And that can go forward as well if the CPS does prosecute. That will then draw out into several months, possibly over a year, where you're putting your life on hold almost to go through that process, and then at the end the jury may not convict. So be really aware of the different outcomes that might happen and be prepared for how you might respond. Make sure you feel that you have the internal strength and support, and that you have the external support network to help you through. The only responsibility you have is to yourself. I can't repeat that enough. The only responsibility you have is to yourself. Now, there's some amazingly great news that I wasn't aware of back in 2008 when I went through the process. But there are some people called the ISVAs, they're Independent Sexual Violence Advisors, and it's their job to help guide you through the court process. So they will help advise you, make you aware of what to expect when you do report, and they are there for you every step of the way through the process. If you speak to them, you have absolutely no obligation to go to the police and report it. So it's just a fantastic resource to help you make the decision so that you don't have to think about these things all by yourself. I really wish that I had known that they existed. In fact, for so many years, I was talking about actually, I want to create this service that anybody who has, suffers a sexual assault can get legal advice all the way through the system, so that if the CPS decides not to prosecute, like they did with me, we can understand what that's about. Well, they do exist, and I think that they would have been a lifeline for me. I kind of think actually that it's a good thing that the CPS didn't want to prosecute in my case. I feel like looking with hindsight, looking back at where I was, I'm not sure I'd have made it through. So, silver linings, eh? But yeah, I've got some more information about how you can contact your local sexual advice resource centre, your SARC, who will be able to put you in touch with ISVAs on the blog below this video. But just really the key takeaway is that you don't have to do this alone, and you have no responsibility except to yourself. Just think about the different outcomes and how you might feel about them, and make sure that you stay safe. To report or not to report, that is the question that only you can answer. Thank you. I'm Emily from Reconnected Life. Bye.